What if Nanami had been present at the Exchange event, and what if Yuta and Hakari had been present for the Shibuya incident? Let's talk about it on today's Juju Stroll, brought to us by Satoru. So let's handle the first one first, as you do, and talk about what if Nanami had been present at the Kyoto School Sister Exchange event. And had he been there, and I'm assuming this is in reference to when that event gets attacked by the disaster curses, here's what I think would have went down. They still would have put up the barrier that excluded Gojo and no one else, right? So Nanami would have been able to rush through the barrier just like Utahime and Gakuganji. And I think that, if we're assuming most things play out the same, meaning Gakuganji runs into Juzo and Utahime runs into Haruta, at least eventually, right? I think Nanami's priority would be his students. He wants to go make sure that Yuji, Megami, all of them are okay. So I think that he would very quickly run into Hanami, right? And Nanami is very strong, but I don't think he's taking Hanami. So the question just becomes, how quickly does Hanami use the domain? Because if Hanami doesn't use the domain, then Nanami backing up Inumaki and Megami and Noritoshi Kamo is probably enough to stall out Hanami until Gojo pops the barrier and comes and helps out, right? But Hanami has a domain and just wasn't using it up until the moment where Yuji and Todo really pressed her, right? So if Nanami's there, Hanami's getting pressed sooner, probably opens the domain, and at that point, they're all cooked, right? If Yuji's not there to kind of protect them because they're not trying to kill Yuji, then it's probably good night for all of them. You know what I mean? But if Hanami doesn't open the domain, then Gojo still steps in and saves everybody. So ultimately, I don't really think Nanami helps that much because if anything, he just forces the issue to the point where Hanami might have to act. So maybe it was a good thing he wasn't there. And then as far as Yuta and Hakari in Shibuya, well, if you didn't see, a few weeks back, I put out a long in-depth video talking about what if Yuta had been there. And ultimately, it just boils down to who we want to say they run into and at what time, because there's a million ways it could go, right? But ultimately, I don't think either of them can really change much in the grand scheme. They might prevent a few of the casualties, maybe Nanami could survive, but they won't prevent Gojo from getting sealed because neither of them could enter the basement to help him. And then ultimately, I don't think they're going to stop Kenjaku from getting away because I think both Hakari and Yuta would still ultimately lose to Jogo, Mahito, or Kenny if they ran into him. So it might go a little better, but it would ultimately still be the same. But y'all let me know your thoughts.